Hi everyone. I actually, instead of getting into my coloring book collection today, I did acquire some new coloring books this past week. So I figured I would go ahead and flip through these today. I do have an announcement regarding the immediate, like, basically regarding a hiatus on the channel after this video. If you want to skip directly to that, I'll put a timestamp in the description. I will cover that at the end. For reasons, it's better for me to cover it at the end than it is right now. So, and you'll understand when you hear. So, all right. So here are some new books I picked up this week. Instagram and some of you other YouTubers are not conducive to my wallet, so let's go ahead and get started. Maybe if I find a place to put my other books for the moment. Alright, so this is my first Damita Victoria book, and I'd seen a couple I liked, but there weren't any that jumped out at me as like, oh, I really, really want this one, until I saw this one flip through. Shayna and Colorland did a flip through of this one, and I loved it. I like seeing, I guess, unusual representations of characters, like from like fairy tales, or we established Wednesday in my coloring chat that I sometimes like really wacky stuff. So this is New Fashion Princesses. Sorry, I have my glasses off and I had to squint. This is New Fashion Princesses, and from like what you can tell on the cover, this is probably supposed to represent Elsa, like an adult version of Elsa based on the sweater and everything, but I'm sure for obviously for certain reasons, they can't flat out say what characters these are supposed to be similar to in the book, so they're just going to say New Fashion Princesses, which I'm perfectly fine with. This is an 8.5 by 11 book, standard size coloring book. There's the back cover. These are grayscale images. It says there are two versions in the book, but what that means is there are two copies of each image. I do not remember how many images, there are two copies of, but I will put that down in the description like I have been doing. So here is the title page, nameplate page, there are some coloring tips here. Yep, double images. These are single-sided pages with black backing on the page. So it says it reduces the bleed through to the next page, but if you are using markers, it is strongly recommended putting a piece of cardstock or thick paper behind the paper you're working on. So it may reduce bleed through, but if you're using markers, I put a piece of cardstock behind any page I color, whether it's pencil or marker, or anything, because even with pencil, I press hard enough that sometimes that can cause issues on the page behind it, unless I put a piece of cardstock there. So that's just something I do regardless of what medium I use. So, alright. And then the copyright page is over here. Sorry about that. So yeah, version 1 and version 2 just mean here's the first set of images, and then here's a copy of all the images. So some of these I will make my best guess. Like that one's Elsa. This one's, I'm assuming, Rapunzel because of the long braid. I love this one. oh, what is her name? Oh, the one from Brave, and I can't think of her name now. Marita, maybe. Sorry guys, my brain is not working today. I like this one a lot though. Belle. And there are little hints, I think, in a lot of these, so you can kind of tell. I love the Anastasia movie. Love the Anastasia movie, and I love this picture. So this might be the first one I try. Again, I have not tried coloring in any of their books yet. Oh, that's interesting. So these are framed, and the black backing only goes as far as the frame. It's not a full black backing page, which is fine. It's just that's unusual for as far as I can tell. So this looks like oh, what is her name? Hunchback of Notre Dame. I like her a lot too. That one will be fun. Is that one Meg? It might be Meg from Hercules. Yeah, like I said, some of these I'm not going to be able to figure it out, but that's okay. And it's not just Disney in here. We have other ones as well. There's one in particular that just sealed it for me. I love like these teenager, young adult looks on them. Now that one, I mean, Sleeping Beauty is, you know, my guess there. Jasmine. Mulan, which is super cool. But there was one in particular I saw, and that was the one that sealed the deal for me. And, oh no, this one might be Meg. I think this one's Meg. Like I said, don't take my word for it. They could be anybody. Boy, that one sure looks a lot like Meg. Like, let's just say it like that. Right? And this one sure reminds me of Ariel. The girl from Wreck-It Ralph. That's who that reminds me of. Yeah, I know, that's not super helpful, is it? Now, there's some, I would say, some of these might run a little more towards PG-13, perhaps. I don't know who this is supposed to be, but, like, the stars kind of remind me of, oh, never mind. This one. This was the one. The one that looks like Leia. This was the kicker for me. I thought the look for her was just adorable. So, I could not resist. Another Frozen one. Now, here's the second copy of all those. So, again, I like, especially if you're just starting out, say, in grayscale, it's nice to have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I should have just looked this up. It's 25. Okay, 2 copies of 25 images, so you get 50 total. But if you're just starting out with grayscale, or sometimes if I'm starting a new book, like I haven't colored in any of the books by this artist or team of artists or whatever. If this is an actual artist, I'm not sure. It's hard to tell sometimes these days. If it is an actual artist, then then there you go. But since I'm not familiar with coloring in these books, I like having 2 copies because that way, if I mess up or it bleeds more than I expect or it acts weird, then I have another page to use. So, not all, because there are different types of Amazon paper, not all Amazon books, for me, react the same to mediums. So, I kind of have to play guesswork with each new type of artist book. Here are, I forgot this, there is a section that talks about other books that are out, and I'm sure they've got more than these out now because I think this is a little bit older book for them. And then feedback on Amazon, which is something I need to work on. And yeah, you can, I don't know if I've seen any book, you know for sure it's Amazon printed if it has this little stamp in the back. And so 9 times out of 10, like I said, I don't think I've ever received an Amazon printed book that didn't have that in the back. So that is a definite check if you're not sure. These days, it's really not as big a deal to me as it was like when I first started coloring, but for some people, they just don't like Amazon paper, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody likes something different. I had to get another Kameliya Angelkova book, 50 Nighttime Mandalas. I am eyeing the spring mandalas. I think I have the summer ones. We did a flip through on that one a while back. But this is 50 mandalas on black backgrounds. Somebody in the comments, and I'm sorry I can't credit who it is right off the top of my head, mentioned that her books actually stay at $4.99, which to me it makes them some of the best bang for your buck coloring books out there if you're looking for really unique like if you're looking for unique images, the amount of images in the book, the type of art that she has, because I love all the books of hers that I have so far. To me, her stuff is probably, like I said, the best deal out there right now in terms of Amazon printed books, in my opinion. So again, roughly 8.5 by 11. These are pretty intricate looking mandalas, which y'all know for me is not my usual thing, but I have a feeling I may actually be using this book this weekend some. So sometimes I just get in the mood. As long as I can pick out my color choices, sometimes this is the kind of stuff I need. And I've said numerous times before that images with black backgrounds are my favorite. By far, just always have, since the start. I don't know, because I like such vibrant colors. Here's the title page. Now this one arrived curled again. Somebody mentioned, not on my channel but somewhere else, that they are noticing the curl happening on books with the black background, but I didn't see that happen with the other book I just showed. Now it could be because the whole back of the page isn't black, I'm not sure, but that one was fine. It wasn't curled in any way. This one is curled. Again, not a huge deal, but it's kind of a pain. Here's some details about the book, some coloring tips. Here's the nameplate page, which you can use like a white or like a paint marker or a white gel pen or something to put your name there. And then let's get started. I believe this is the one on the front page, yes. I'm calling them mandalas. They're sometimes in my head, never mind, mandalas. They're pronounced all kinds of different ways, and sometimes even in my head I get them mixed up. So now I have found over my 2 years of coloring experience, though I dig this, I am not usually a big pattern person. I have my moments, and I believe in other moments coming up for that, but some of these are really unique. Like, they're not your typically shaped mandalas. She's got a lot of different ones in here, and like this one I really dig. So, patterns aren't my first go-to. That's just, I don't know, it's, sometimes I get in the mood for them, but they are definitely not my overall favorite image to color, but I do have my moments where, particularly because I want to use my gel pens more, I like this one. The ones that look almost a little more freeform, I guess. And the thing is, like, with this pattern, I don't have to cut, in my head when I look at it, I'm like, I have to color each of these little bits separately, but I really don't. I could just color all that one color, and it would still be okay. I'm one of those people, I've trained myself that every little nook and cranny and tidbit has to have its own unique color, and it doesn't. And I need to get myself over that. As far as I know, we've already discussed it, and just as kind of a heads up, as far as I know, barring anything major, I will be actually co-hosting with Shayna, the one I mentioned before. I think she did flip through this one as well. We're going to do a Kameliya Angelkova color along in August. That was one of the reasons I already had this book on my list, and I have plenty to color out of her books, but I figured a mandala book would do me some good. And again, these are just, I get my black background, which I love. I get some really unique looking mandalas. I'd stop and think before I said that. And I get 50 of them, and like I said, for $5 US, that is a pretty good deal, because these are gorgeous. And I actually, the reason I got like the summertime mandalas is because those are, a lot of those are even more freeform. This one definitely has more pattern to it, but like I said, I've resolved to myself to really start going through my gel pens, and these are a perfect way to use my gel pens. And she has a lot of mandala books out. So if you are a fan of mandalas and you like what you're seeing, she's got a ton of others that are on regular white backgrounds if you don't like the black backgrounds. I think she has the seasonal mandalas, which I will probably acquire over time. I like this one a lot. And like I said, a lot of those are a little more freeform. Some of, the mandalas that have like just one big image in the middle or whatever. That is the house phone. I'm going to let my husband get that. Looks like we are getting some spam calls this morning. Man, I really kind of like that one. I think, like I said, it's the small little bits of these that don't draw me in very much, but I have felt, well, I was feeling rather creative and willing to try some different stuff as of late with my coloring pages, so this would be a good time to try some different stuff with these. Stop putting myself in a coloring corner where I can only color these a certain way. So yeah, we have seasonal miniatures coloring book. I have the spring and summer. These are my absolute favorites of hers, are the miniature books. It does look like she is planning to do a fall and winter, so I'm super excited about that. They do have the different seasonal mandalas. And then she has different ones, like the Halloween one. I don't know. I might need to look at that one. I have plenty of Christmas books. I think I'm happier with Halloween. I'm bigger celebrator of Halloween than I am Christmas. But they've got like lotus flower mandala. Yeah, mandalas. See, even in my head, I don't always call it the same. So she, again, if you're a big mandala fan, she's got a ton to choose from. And then she also has some fantasy art coloring books, which I have not had a chance to look at yet, and I probably should go take a peek. And then she's got some 100 mandala coloring books as well. And then about the artist, different updates. She's got a YouTube channel that I need to subscribe to if I haven't already done so. So there is social media info. Let me pause for just a moment. Alright. Just had to do something real quick. Alright, so through Instagram, I've been seeing people post pictures from... Hang on. Alright. No, this is second. I was going to say third time's the charm, but we are not to the third time yet. Anyway, I've seen a lot of people post books from Mindware, a lot of them being the Mosaic Color by Number series books, which I've been kind of drawn to, but also I have a lot of color by number books like that right now, and I was like, let me finish what I've already got. Like, let me get through some of those before I really commit to a lot of other Mosaic books, because there's a whole lot of those, and I could easily get sucked into collecting those. But I did see I've seen people post from these Mindware books. They are color counts is the name of the different types of books. They are colored by number. It is more of a mosaic format. I'm especially drawn to them because they do have the black lines for the mosaic format instead of the white lines, which for somebody like me who constantly colors in the white lines, when I'm coloring, because I'm not a very clean colorist, I prefer that type of layout. So anyway, after seeing those, I did break down and get a couple of them just to kind of see what they're like. This is the Mythical Fantasy one. It is, again, are these letter size or not quite letter size? These, I think, are shorter. Oh, well, having the piece of paper in there is not going to help. Yeah, they are actually a little shorter than your basic 8.5 by 11 book. They seem to be a little wider, and maybe not. Maybe just the images inside are a little... Anyway, you'll see in a minute. So that's the front, and this is the back. Some of the really... So these have a unique setup, and this is where I want to be more active on Amazon reviews, because it was really hard to figure out what these books looked like until I got my own copy of it. So how these work is you get 2 copies of each picture that's in the book. Here is the title page. They have a couple pages where they talk about the different types of books, the color by number collections that Mindware has, the color counts. Here's the mystery mosaics I was talking about. They do have some others, which I'm kind of curious about as well. They do have a colored pencil set that they that you can purchase, and the numbers from the colored pencil set do coincide with the numbers and colors that they have in these books. I do prefer using markers most of the time, and so I don't really have any desire to buy these colored pencils yet, but if you're somebody that really likes having exact color representations, then you know that is always an option. So I'm going to show you the very first page I have completed, so you guys can kind of see what one of these looks like completed. This was super cool. Like, I like the color combination. I think I used Spree and a few of my Arteza markers on this. I felt like I got really good color matchups with the actual color names between those two marker sets. So, as you can see, these are perforated, these are one-sided. These are actually printed, not Amazon printed books. I'm assuming they're printed by Mindware or some company related to them. They are perforated like right here. So right after they list the colors here on the side. So the image itself is actually smaller than, I would say, a standard size of paper, piece of paper. So they are a little bit smaller images. I figured this one, the mosaic, like there would be more color differentiation, but at least in this image there wasn't. I have seen some where there was more, but I still like how this turned out. So what they do is they provide you a copy of the picture with the numbers filled in. Okay? Then they offer you a copy of the picture that's blank, that doesn't have any numbers. And basically what you can do is create your own color by number set, or just color it in freely, which I kind of dig. I'm not gonna lie. I like the idea that I can have a page where I can put in my own colors, and then a page like if I just want the book to tell me what to use and I don't want any thought process. Y'all know I've mentioned in these, and the other thing to this is that not only do they have single pages, they have fold out pages, which are basically like a double page spread. So this one's going to get interesting because I only have so much camera in here. Oh, that works. So like here's a really big 2-page one with the mermaids and the ship. I don't know, with these double-sided ones, this may be a book where I actually tear the pages out, because it's going to be kind of difficult, I think, to color this and keep it nice looking with markers while it's still in the book. I don't know. We'll see. So they offer you a 2-page layout with the numbers, then they offer you a 2-page layout without the numbers. So. And that's the way it is for all the images. I will put full counts of how many of each kind of image is in here in the description. So maybe, because it is kind of confusing, not gonna lie. It's like they tried to cram 3 different types of books in here, which, again, I do appreciate because I like variety. I was actually thinking of coloring this one, but I've got fairies and other books that I've been coloring this month, and so I saw Wizard Dude up in the front, or Warlock, whatever you want to call them, and I couldn't resist. So here is another double page spread. Now I'm just going to show you all the number version of this. There's no sense in putting both of these out. I really like this one. This might be the next one I do in this book, is the dragon ones. So. And then this side is the non-numbered version. So here is what was on the front cover. Hang on. Here is some, I guess, Greek gods and goddesses in this picture. And then your double page, here is your Greek gods. Like I said, it does get a little complicated trying to navigate through the book, but I don't know. I like this one a lot too. This might actually, I think this one will be my next one. There's the uncolored version. I like the Phoenix one too. See, that's the thing. I like all the images in here, but most of them I am really drawn to, and this was a very good call on my part. And this one I actually really dig. This is supposed to be Atlantis, I'm assuming. If you can see, there's like a whale here and some fish. So this is actually underwater, which I think is super cool. And then here is, like I said, the side that's doesn't have any numbers. I know a lot of times I struggle like with Sun Life drawing books where they'll have a mosaic book and they'll have the numbered version, but then they'll also have a non-numbered version, and it's like I struggle sometimes between the two different books because I'd like to have both options, but the problem is I'm also not one who will color the same image over and over either, at least not right now. So I like that I have both options in this book, and that might actually lead me to doing that more and just trying some different setups. This is the Mindware Color Counts Adorable Animals version. Same basic design of the book. These books had a weird smell to them when I got them. Like completely random. But if you were I don't know how to describe it. It's not like a terrible smell, but it's strong. It's not pleasant, I guess. If you are very sensitive to smells, I don't know if that is just the standard for how their books are printed because of the ink, or if that was just happened to be the set of books I got. So the other book that I was coloring out of, the Mythical one, where I've been coloring out of it, the smell seems to have dissipated. But man, I opened this one and it was just like, whoa, there it is. So again, you get the information here about the collection, about the pencils and all of that. Then we get started. Here we have, if you can see it, a little bunny rabbit. I did struggle. I didn't know which one I wanted to color a page out of, but ultimately I went with Warlock Dude just because I was really digging him. Boy, I am not like a reptile fan, but here lately I've really been digging like iguanas and chameleons and stuff like that. So there is that. And again, this is the same layout as the Mythical Fantasy one, where you get a numbered version and then you get an unnumbered version of each page. And like I said, folding them together like this, you can see these. I love the double page spreads. It's just they're a little awkward. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, these may be books I have to actually take out the double page ones and then just tuck them back in once they've dried. The single page ones I think are fine. And see, I like this frog one. And that's the cover. Yeah, that's the cover. You've got a little lamb, maybe? Possibly. I think it's a lamb. And then we are back. Let me just open the unnumbered version. Here's a cute little puppy. And you got your 3 cats and a teacup, which y'all would think would be my first go-to image in this book, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. There are a lot of cute images in this book, and while I do love the cat pictures, I like this little chipmunk too. I thought he was a squirrel. He's a chipmunk. Look at the line down his side, Michelle. He's a chipmunk. I really dig the chipmunk. I really do. I think the chipmunk might be it, guys. I really think he's going to be the first choice here. And here is a pig in boots, y'all. I will say they did not, this book was aptly named Adorable Animals. They did not scrimp on the adorableness. I'm assuming a fox, maybe? I don't know. He's got awful big ears. Maybe it's not a fox. Could be a desert fox. Well, no, that's a palm tree. I don't know. And then we have a penguin. No, I think it's supposed to be a bird. It's so big, I instantly assumed it was a penguin because of that and the scarf. But I think it's just a bird. Because it's on a tree, and I haven't seen any penguins in trees. Well, I've never seen a penguin, except at a zoo, but I certainly have never seen penguins in trees. And then these are, oh boy, they're fat, whatever they are. Hamsters, maybe? Hamsters having a party? I think. I don't know. And there was the last one. So, if you're looking at like how many actual images are in the book, and taking out the copies, you got one. We'll count the double-sided one as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it looks like roughly 11 images per book, but like I said, that is counting one double-sided page as one image. So these are, you know, I think around the $8, $9 range US. I like them. I think, you know, there's not a ton of images in them, but if you like having the different options for color by number and stuff, and for me, I mean, these are books I may not color every image twice, but these are books I could easily see myself completing one image for each. So I see myself completing these books, you know, quotes, depending on how you define completing a book. So, and I wanted to show those too because I probably will be coloring quite a bit in those this weekend. Alright, so there are the 4 books. Where are we at? Almost, we'll go ahead and do this at the 38-minute mark. And our Flip Through Friday for the week. Now, I am going to be putting the channel on hopefully a brief hiatus. I'm not going to put a length of time on it because honestly and truly it's just going to depend on when I am ready to do videos. There's been a lot of back and forth regarding Annie's health. It did take a turn for the worse in the middle of the week. I cannot talk about this much right now because I'm going to wind up bawling my eyes out, but she is at the vet right now. They do have they finally think they know what's wrong with her. It does not usually have a good outcome. They have her there. They are giving her medication. The hope is if she makes it through the weekend, you know, they're going to reevaluate on Monday. But usually the outcome of this is not good. So, okay. Needless to say, I am not in a very good place mentally. There is also a whole nother level to this, and again, I can't go into details, but she's not in any pain, she's not suffering, she is a little anxious there, but with what they have, the medication they have to give her and the way they have to monitor her, I was really hopeful I could bring her home for the weekend and that she would at least have a few good days to see if the medicine was going to help. but she has had some more complications this morning, and at this point they think it would probably, and truly, if she was at home and I was trying to give her medicine, it would just stress her out further and would probably make things worse. So she is probably going to stay at the vet over the weekend, and we're just going to have to take this day by day. So I can't I can't do videos like this, and so sorry. It just, I will try to keep you updated through the community tab. I might post some pictures to Instagram. I may not. I'm also going to make a small note over there. But any, I guess, kind thoughts or prayers, I mean, at this point are appreciated. I just, yeah. Anyway, so not sure when I'm going to post another video. I'm not going away completely. Those of you that have been around for a while know that sometimes when I've had a cat have health issues, or I've had a cat pass away, or I've had other life issues happen, I've had to take hiatuses and small breaks, and sometimes it's a few weeks, sometimes it turns into a month. It's like I said, I've tried before to say it's only going to be this long, and I'm just not going to hold myself to that this time. But like I said, I probably will be coloring during this time simply because I need something else to focus on. So if I can, I will try to at least post some pictures to Instagram, to the face, and they will cross post to the Facebook page. So if those are down in the description if you guys want to check those out. If you're on Instagram or on Facebook, you may at least get some updates through there. Like I said, regardless of the outcome, I will keep you guys updated here as well in the community tab, at least as well as I can. But anyway, so I mean, thanks for all the support you've given up to this point, and I really thought we were doing okay, and unfortunately that just wasn't the case. So, and on that note, that's about as far as I can go without completely losing it. So, alright guys, hope you have a great weekend. Take care, and I will hopefully talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.